I think we should just go ahead and just start with the best fact of all time. The best Smallville episode fact of all time.
Okay. All right. I don't want to jump into something so serious so fast, but because it's technically a fact about the episode, and yet it's not about the episode, just what could have been. And you say it's the best.
Yeah.
I say they did the world a favor.
No, they did. But that's why it's the best thing ever.
So you're looking at the best as the opposite right now with it, thinking, yeah, this is amazingly horrible. Thank God.
Yes, I was just blown away. Man, y'all should have seen me because I walk into here. Taylor's like, dude, it's unreal. You gotta read this.
It's like it was the Bible sitting on the damn table.
I read Genesis. Dude.
And this was the Smallville Companion. So remember, always have a companion. It's your best friend.
Yeah, companion book. We got Jinx. The fun fact really being that the writer, Mark Warshaw, went ahead and admitted this thing where originally the episode was written to have the reappearance of Pete Ross, the Boss Ross.
This would have made him the Boss Ross, and by the way that they said that they were going to make him act is pretty disturbing. Because everybody out there, we make jokes about how bad Pete is and how Clark doesn't go... Yeah,
I wasn't joking.
Okay, I may have been joking because, Pete doesn't deserve some of the hate he gets. And Clark should go and visit him. In Wichita, we have always believed Clark is the asshole. However, with what they were going to make this episode, they were going to turn Pete into the most hated character of all time.
Yeah.
Because apparently he was going to be at the rival school in the championship game where, spoiler, Clark is in the championship game against this rival school. Pete was going to be going there, and he was going to find Clark where he was going to accuse him of being a cheater because he knows he plays football using his superpowers. And he was going to scream, cheater, cheater!
He was going to snitch on him.
This is amazingly horrible.
So do you think he had that pent up, like they would have done it, he would have shown up, he's like, yeah, I heard you're on the football team and you're killing it. I know you're a cheater, Clark. All right. I've played football. Normally, you're a freak. You can't do that. I know you're cheating.
You can't even beat me in basketball.
Yeah.
What makes you think you can play football? Also, I've seen you throw a football. You throw like you're 5.
You certainly don't throw like John.
Yeah, because he just threw it at him like as hard as he could. But also, we saw Clark at the pep rally in Facade and how he was about to throw that football in order to dunk Lana. So there was some evidence that the man wasn't able to throw.
Yeah, and I can believe it. I honestly believe it because you're telling me if
it wasn't kryptonite, it was all his.
This is all Clark. Maybe high, I don't know, but. I mean, Pete did talk about, like, yeah, he would whoop Clark in basketball normally, so Clark is really bad at sports.
Pete was going to be the most hated character.
Yeah, why would they do... Why was that the idea?
And I love their excuse on why this was not the episode. Oh, we just couldn't get him.
Yeah, he was busy. Yo, this is where we actually go into our little spiel. Thank God for Glory Road. What a great movie, because that's what kept Sam Jones busy.
Wait, Glory Road?
Glory Road, the movie.
Is it the basketball one?
Yes.
Man, he really was a great basketball player, huh? Is that in Wichita?
We saw your skills on the Smallville set. We need you.
We need you, Pete.
Well, they wanted me back for an episode? No. It sounds horrible.
Yeah, by the way, they told me what they were going to do. You don't want to do it.
You're going to leave for that? I would recommend strongly not to do that.
Be the side character that has no lines in this movie. Do not do that episode. He read the script and he goes, holy shit, I can't do it.
I'd rather be the extra over here.
People would throw things at him if they ever saw him at any of the Comic-Cons or any of the festivals. He would have been just spit on.
Yeah, they'd be like, Sam, why'd you do that? Huh? It's like, that wasn't dark Reddit channels of just hate, pure hate on Sam Jones for that.
I hate Pete.
I hate Pete. IHP. Damn.
The problem is, whenever somebody would look up Harry Potter doing HP, it'd come up hate Pete.
It got so popular. It beat all search engines.
Yeah.
Top results, HP, and then Harry Potter, but it's like, did you mean hate Pete? Look, because there was also another fun fact to be followed by this. There was a intern on the Smallville set named Danny Crozier, and he was the one who suggested the replacement idea of this episode with Pete.
So you're trying to tell me that Mark was just standing there, oh my God, we can't get him? What are we going to do?
Yeah, that's how I'm taking it. The man was dying in the writing room like, what else am I going to write? What am I going to do? And then Danny, his intern, is just there probably sipping some coffee.
What if we, hear me out, what if we don't use Pete and we use a actual Superman villain? Oh.
Mxyzptlk. They're like, who?
Who? You make up that name? Warner Brothers will definitely let us use him.
Yeah. They don't like imps.
And by the way, you got to say it right, Joseph. Mxyzptlk.
Mxyzptlk. Sorry, doing it a little high. Mxyzptlk.
I can't wait to get to our villain.
Dude.
There's going to be a lot of accents in this episode.
Is that what we want to admit now, too? That the accent was a last-minute idea for our villain this week?
All I know is the Smallville companion is holding nothing back this week.
This might be the best fun fact episode ever, like, honestly, because, wow. Accent, they looked at the actor for, who his name is Mikhail. Mxyzptlk. Mxyzptlk. And they were like, yeah, we saw him in the West Wing, doing a really good French accent. So we thought, what the hell? Eastern European? You're our guy.
You got this, right?
Yeah. And by the way, the real guy's name is Trent. So they're like, hey, Trent, you think you could do this?
Trent says, hell yeah, I can do it. In his British accent.
Yeah, he's actually British. Why couldn't we just keep him normal?
British? Instead of
Mxyzptlk.
By the way, it's really a cross between Count Dracula and Russian, is how I really think the accent goes with this episode.
It's extremely exaggerated. It hurts me.
But this episode was really solid.
It's not bad at all.
And usually when we go into these type of episodes, last-minute decisions, they end up being horrible, or then they're trying to fit this episode to make it make sense in the season just as a throwaway. But this episode is really solid.
It is.
It's now developing more of the relationship with Chloe and Clark. God, Velma, 10 years at the torch has done her well. She is so wonderful in this episode, and then she's violated. I am disgusted, and I will fight for her honor. But before we get to that spoiler, I do have to say the relationships, even with Clark and Jason, take a turn. Lex becomes something that we are definitely going to talk about rainy days. Stay tuned.
Oh, good Lord.
And also, Lana sucks. Lana sucks even more.
Been saying it,
you don't think she can do something every single episode, but yet she can, and she does. And Jesse, what the hell?
Can we say that Chloe is steadily getting in the field of basically dangerous men? She just becomes a pure victim. While Lana is actually picking the worst men, Chloe is just being attacked by them.
This is fair. Because usually the guys are lying to Chloe or making them seem like they're good people. Lana knows they're horrible.
Every time.
And Lana is still choosing them in the end.
That's how the best ones start, dude.
That is still amazing. Shout out, Adam.
Okay, is this a coincidence? Do we miss?
Top 10.
I love him so much. Oh, yeah, that guy's name is Trent Ford. Mikhail.
Thank God.
Trent Ford.
Thank God that we are still talking about this one.
Let's talk about how we first get the first appearance of the coach.
Quigley.
Coach Quigley.
Somehow he makes an appearance, and he looks like a guy that skips practice to go cheat on his wife. And by the way, he has a convertible too. That's exactly who Coach Quigley looks like.
That's right, he does.
Oh, you see that tan? That tan's not normal. You're in Smallville.
I mean, that's true. Well, he's outside all day. Coach, he's a coach.
Yeah, where's Jason's tan? He'd look great with the tan.
He looks tanned all over. Maybe he keeps it around.
Year round. Oh, I also have to say this. Thanks to Nicole, did you know Kristen and Jason were dating in real life during this time?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, I think, didn't someone mention that?
That's what I mean. It was Nicole.
Yeah.
And that
It was Jensen and Kristen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that they were actually going out. And that's why their kisses this season are so hot and steamy.
No, they're not.
That you just are like, you guys are so in love.
No.
You don't get that?
I'm only looking at Jason.
That's fair.
Lana's dead.
That's somehow she digs herself more into this grave.
Yeah.
She is really close to the core at this point because she's horrible and she's not getting better. Why doesn't she get better?
Maybe we don't need to.
Okay.
Maybe.
No. We need her to because I have to understand the appeal of why Clark would want her. Unless this is just strictly, I remember her as the girl next door. Whatever she does, I don't care.
Maybe Smallville just is like having Lana not be the hero that it actually deserves. Instead, it's not the one it needs right now, so they're going to hate her. You know? They're going to hate her until we need her.
I'm going to disagree with this one. I'll disagree with your first one. After Pete left, they needed somebody for the audience to hate, and that is why she has just gotten terrible.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you've gone this far already without not knowing, who we are, that's weird. But we'll remind you, two nerdy idiots back again on the Somebody Save Me podcast for another round of Smallville. We're on season 4, episode 7, Jinx. Why do we call it Jinx? Like a spell?
Yeah,
is that what we're going with?
Because in a way he's bad luck. Because his power, he can essentially be Purple Man and do whatever he wants. And instead, he uses it for high school bets.
Yeah, this is very strange. We have a high school bookie?
Yeah.
Cool. Very common, especially in Kansas.
You would think that
actually
this is an alternative high school. We need somebody to be able to place these type of bets. They have fights in the hallway, so obviously money's being thrown around here. With this now Mxyzptlk coming in, we finally have a student who's willing to take those bets and what we have seen can cover those bets. And that's hard to find in Smallville.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like everyone can get away with anything now.
In this alternative high school, they can.
It's unbelievable.
This
is like Van all over again. He's carrying a whole police scanner.
You know what they can't get around, though? Is if Lex Luthor hates you,
then
true. You're done.
My dad got you? Yeah, I hate you. The fact you even brought up my dad indirectly like that, I hate you even more.
Just make sure everybody out there gives 5 stars.
Yeah.
Been 5 stars.
I will say.
Don't let it not be filled.
Yeah, like I said, we're going to have accent.
We don't even know if it'll sound good.
No, not good at all.
But it's going to be Eastern European.
Yeah. Did you not tell? This is Eastern European. And mentioned 5 stars? Yes,
5 stars.
We've gotten 5 stars, but we need more. Give us more.
Because remember, a bet is a bet.
Also remember, Q&A is available on Spotify. So if you listen there, please add your comments. We'd love to see it and post it. Get recognition, you know what I mean? We'll shout you out. Maybe. Sometimes by name. We have some loyal ones out there we'll shout by name, but we don't need to get into that.
And by the way, everyone needs to also understand.
Yeah.
It may take a few weeks because we're a little bit ahead of the time.
A little bit.
So it's like why aren't you shouting me out the very next week? Why are you waiting multiple weeks? You know what? It's because you're behind.
That's true.
And I'm ahead.
Yeah, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
So calm the fuck down.
And 5 stars.
5 stars. Let's get into Jinx.
All right.
Mixel.
You know what I want to get to, though? Let's get to some football!
Dude, we got some good football going on. Oh, I actually really love this intro scene. Oh, so we're at we're a week away from the championship game. So this is the one on the line. Like, this is going to get them to the championship.
Should say semifinals?
Semifinals, bro.
And so this is now where the game is on the line. So who do we have to rely on when there is only a few seconds left? And that would be Clark Kent. But before we get there, we have a little underneath the stadium scene here with Miss Chloe Sullivan.
Yeah,
now
it looks sketchy already.
So I remember this underneath the stadium. It was all about, going to the snack bar. That's where you got to see everybody just hanging out.
Seeing girls.
Yeah, I always remember this. What I don't remember is a bookie hanging out there, but that's what we have at Smallville.
And it's confirmed, later on, but it's a high school bookie.
Yeah.
Like a bookie at a high school game, first off, is
And
already throwing me off.
I do need you to see my notes here because you know me. I never go forward in an episode. And what my notes say is that Gabe still has not gotten a job. And that is why Chloe is down here in order to make a bet. Not only that, I said it's either Gabe hasn't gotten a job or Chloe is doing a story.
Oh my God.
I would never believe, though, she would just make a bet on her own because that's not what a decade at the torch teaches you. A decade at the torch teaches you that you are the best.
No, to take risks.
Because your dad can't support the household, so you got to do everything you can.
Is the torch paying for the house right now?
I don't know, but at this point, I don't know what Gabe is doing all day. Is he baking? What are you doing, Gabe?
Because we do get actual confirmation from that.
Yeah, no, it's actually answered, and I couldn't believe it was answered. It's amazing.
It's unreal, yeah, because that's a good little hunch you had.
Let's get to the prime suspect of everything.
Yeah. So it's like, are you the guy? It's Mikhail. He's like Mxyzptlk.
Let me guess. You want to buy a vowel?
You want to buy a vowel? What do you mean, the game that started already?
Because Chloe is down here in order to make a bet, but obviously the game has already started. So there's no making the bet.
I can't take bet after kickoff.
And Chloe says shoot. So he already suspects this is her first go round here.
Yeah, she's a newbie. And he's like, oh, rookie, huh? Well, maybe in your case, I'll make an exception.
Chloe laughs. Thank you. Could you put 10 down? I don't even know what she doesn't even say.
Put me down for Smallville to win.
But I want to get to how much she bets too. I think it's either a $10 or a $20. And the reason why I have to say this, we're going to get to her winnings later on as well.
Yeah. Okay. And then Mikhail here is like, oh, that's weird. I have a funny feeling about the quarterback today.
And Chloe, of course, says, I never bet against Clark Kent. And he says, well, suit yourself.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Rule number 1, Joseph. A bet is a bet.
No takebacks. No takebacks, Chloe Sullivan.
Indian giver.
Damn. That's a good term.
Yes. Kyla, shout out.
And Mikhail is just grinning as she walks away. Now, we are seeing Coach Quigley, too, man. We just keep seeing him more than I've ever seen him all season.
Jason's the real head coach in all this. Let's not sell him short because Quigley's not even moving on the sideline. Jason's going up and down, cheering on this team.
What's the school name? It says the Blues. So who...
I don't know who the Blues would be.
It doesn't say on the scoreboard? Damn it.
I think it just says visitor
Home
team.
away or something? Like,
yeah, but also, who cares about the Blues?
Dude, the Blues versus the Reds, bro. It's the Crips versus the Bloods right now.
Okay, this is now not getting into what I thought.
It's the firefighters and against the NYPD.
Okay, there we go.
Like, this is Departed.
Heroes.
The real heroes out there.
I mean... I don't want to get in.
No. That's a crazy hole we'll go into.
I was more getting in the whole the Crips and the Bloods, but just in case they're big fans, we're not saying anything. Shout out,
Crips and the Bloods. Anyways, we have Smallville on the offense right now. We got some crazy big dude just eyeing Clark, ready to sack his ass, dude. He's hungry. So we only have a few seconds left. Clark is over here going for the game-winning play.
Which is a toss to the running back, who then takes off. So Clark technically right now is not even supposed to be scoring or throwing. Clark has now done his job. He's going to be just chasing down while this running back is a speedster.
So Pete was trying to say this is cheating because Clark is clearly...
No, Pete wouldn't be till the next team. So yes, as they are going down the field, all of a sudden we see Mikhail in the stands, and he says, drop.
Yeah, and fumble.
And all of a sudden the football then drops. But again, Clark was already chasing behind him, so Clark picks up the football, and Clark is going in for the touchdown!
Like, it's actually nuts. Clark is behind him, picks up the ball, and boom, he's running. And then Mikhail says, trip. And whoa. Now we actually, because this is our confirmation as well. This is magic, is it not?
So it trips up Superman.
It trips up Superman, dude. Clark literally does trip as he's running, and then boom, he loses his footing.
But he trips too late, and that's where he still ended up able to score. But before he scores,
he literally super trucks the big guy who was
the big defender.
Yeah, the big defender, and he just absolutely knocks him away. And dude's on the ground now. They're celebrating, of course, because they just won, but John's already concerned in the stands. Everyone's celebrating as soon as he scored, but he's like, oh, shit.
John wasn't celebrating really before either. He was not that happy because he was
waiting.
He was wanting this to happen.
He was waiting for it to happen.
This is where John now can go to Clark and say, I was right, no more football. You were going to try to break my records, and you were close. But
you're done.
No
You're done.
cigar. No championship for you.
Yeah, Clark's probably already going to look in the stands, look at his dad, and his dad's like, you're done. You're done. Grounded when you get home.
And I have a real problem, too, with this little, oh, my God, what did Clark do? Instead, it's a football game, and the guy could have fell on his shoulder wrong. That's all. I was confused by what the injury is, where it's like, okay, that's not enough for me to be able to look at Clark and say, you're a monster.
Broke his collarbone, dude.
Literally,
that happened to my brother.
He could have fell on it weird. It could
happen any way you're tackling people. Like, it's a very big contact sport. It's like, and why also are we really tripping?
With Clark's momentum of him running, even if he's 6'5", we've said, or 6'3", weighs like 260.
He's known as the big farm guy.
Yeah, who lifts hay bales.
Yeah.
And if this guy is going full speed, trips, and then completely collides into you while you're just standing there, regardless, even if you're big, you're going to fall over. And it may hurt.
Yeah.
This isn't enough for me. I was hoping Clark would have made the guy explode. And then everybody could have been like, oh my God, what did he do?
There is something I want to bring up that Jason does. It's very little, but...
I think the guy explodes.
No, not that. Yeah, I would have been crazy if he actually exploded, or just like his shoulder just blows off, like just the shoulder.
See, that's when if I'm John, I'm concerned.
I think everyone's concerned at that point.
Right now, though, not that concerned.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Oh, he broke a bone? Clark, don't you trip again.
Yo, you broke that kid's bone. That could never happen if you were playing. You're out.
5 lashes from the belt tonight. Martha, get it ready.
We need to talk about the real thing, Taylor, is that we get one of Superman's actual other weaknesses. Magic.
That's true. And obviously, we always have to talk about who Mr. Mxyzptlk is.
You need to give the origin right now.
Superman number 30, 1944. So this is one of the first magic villains that Superman ever faced. Very early issue. And to what you were saying, it shows, because even in the comic, I just wish that Mikhail was this little imp.
Yeah, they call him a magical imp in the comics.
Because he's so tiny.
He's like a fifth dimensional thing, right?
Yeah, he's pretty much Gazoo from the Flintstones.
Okay, that's a good comparison.
And he's as big as Superman's hand, essentially, but yet he's always able to cause the trouble. Because even though you could say Superman, not really big weakness is magic, magic still trips him up.
It affects him, yeah, as if he's anyone else, pretty much. Yeah. So it's very cool to have this, like, it was a golden age.
Oh, yeah, definitely golden age when
Yeah.
you're dealing with 1944. Superman 30, you kidding me? That's one of the classic books.
Bro.
I would do anything for that book.
Mxyzptlk.
But I would also want that book plus a signed photo from this guy right
Trent
here,
Ford?
from Trent Ford. But I only want...
Good old TF.
But I want him to say Mxyzptlk when he's signing. And he has
Sign
to
it as if that's your actual name.
Yeah.
No practice, just do it.
I don't care about you as a real person. You're only the thing I see on TV.
Trent Mxyzptlk.
You mean Mikhail?
Yeah, Mikhail. All right.
Let's get to what football coaches don't do.
Okay. So would we say this is probably the first strike, maybe, that Jason's ever done?
Nope, it's not. Ladies
don't
and
think so?
gentlemen, we have our first fight. And best friends tend to do this, especially when they're concerned about each other right now.
Supporting this right
So
now.
Jason and Clark, hold on. So all the coaches after the game are in the hospital,
Right.
so Clark can still get a punch. And inside of this hospital, the defender that Clark trucked is sitting there, putting on his brace, shoulder, collarbone broken, and it could even be worse.
It could.
As Clark walks in, Jason now begins to question. Now, Jason is a little confused here because Clark, apparently his shoulder is completely shattered. How are you able to do that for a guy that weighs 100 pounds more than you? Now, Jason's coming at Clark a little strong. And I don't like where he's going, but I also believe he's coming from a concerned place. What we do figure out later on is he was forced to do this.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
so this is just Jason trying to hint at Clark, hey, I love you. You're my BFF, but I got to do this. This is my job. And Clark essentially takes this, but he is very hurt because now with Clark answering saying this was a surge of adrenaline, I mean, I don't know what happened. Well, Clark, I don't think that's going to really fly considering I've seen you be able to throw hay bales every afternoon, but as far as throwing a 60-yard pass, which has happened earlier in this season.
And it happened overnight, like his skills in football, is what he's meaning.
Yes, because he came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You can be good, but you led the entire team to a state championship.
First
good.
year.
Yeah.
No prior football practice.
None whatsoever, and he was just that magical farm boy that happened to be there waiting to be taken.
Now, to do the whole why everyone's concerned thing, I think it's also having to do because what Jason mentions here, like, because it's hinting now that with all these things, there's suspicion that Clark is using steroids.
And Clark even then said, you think I would do that? No.
No, I don't.
That's why I put my neck on the line and say you wouldn't do that. Well, I'm not on drugs. Listen, I know, but if any of the other guys think that you're on a different playing field than them, then their entire championship season could be forfeited. You got to understand, and this college career, man, remember, you got a lot looking out for you. I'm doing everything I can to make sure you're going to be the best you can, Clark, because I'm Jason and I care about you.
I love you more than everyone here.
Yes.
But, okay, so...
No other coach talks to Clark.
That's
Jason
true.
does.
Yeah, the principal talked to him one time.
Jason
But then Clark had enough of that.
has taken on that responsibility, and what I love about their relationship, there's no mention of Lana, and yet they know.
Yeah, because...
There's no weirdness, though, between that or even awkwardness. Instead, Clark is really looking for Jason as guidance. He likes Jason.
This is bro.
Yeah, there's no real, I should look into this guy. I
hope they hang out without Lana.
I hope they do all the time.
Well, I guess they are technically hanging out.
Yeah, yeah, they stay late after football practice, too. Can you help me study?
Hey, man, wipe me down.
I don't know. That's not what...
Yeah, who's saying that to who?
Remember, during the Love Potion episode with the Potionettes, there was Jason in the locker room, and then the shotgun guy in the locker room, Brett.
Think so.
And Clark was there. So Clark was already waiting after practice in order to hang out with Jason. So obviously, they're always together without Lana.
Okay, but...
Full circle.
Hate it. But no, to go back into like everyone's concerned, right? The fact that he mentions the whole 100-pound thing. Like, and also that Clark refuses to see doctors. So it's like, is his record being shown as... Is his record, like his public record, shown that he just rejects doctor visits? He's like a certain weight where maybe he's weighed in the eyes of the public too small to be shattering that big ass dude's collarbone.
I think, honestly, Martha and John just write religious beliefs on it. Like, why wouldn't you just do that? Right? No, he can't be examined. We have our own doctors. We live on like an Amish like plantation type thing. We have our own beliefs. They could so pull that card. They live at a farm, far away from everybody else.
If they're Amish, they would have a big community.
All I know is everybody already hates John.
And they would dress different.
John helps sell the cream corn factory. So
Amish wouldn't do that.
Well, they probably put John in the Amish facility. So John now just uses it to his advantage.
He would be their worst member.
That's why they don't live there anymore.
Look, dude. Nah, they still... it's suspect that he won't go to the doctor and such. They're clearly not using a religious excuse. That's why it's still suspicious.
I'm trying to give this a benefit of the doubt here.
Yeah, they'd be idiots if they didn't think of that.
Yeah, I thought of it in 5 seconds.
Well, I don't know. They're all dumb separately. When they get together, they plan some good stuff. We've talked about that.
Let's get to another dummy they reveal to us.
We're at the Lex mansion. And he's looking over some papers, and he's like, I can't imagine what it would have been like to grow up in a war-torn country. Obviously.
I guess this is far, this is so much better than scavenging in the streets all the time, growing up hand to mouth, destined to make you resourceful.
Lex is like, I don't like anything you just said. You sound poor.
Listen.
It's so funny when Lex looks at people like that, dude. Like, he really does look, you sound like you're a fucking liar.
I just want you to know, I deported my last doctor back to Korea, so don't think I won't deport your ass either.
Pyongyang. Yeah, I sent her there. Notice, I keep memories of her with all the servants around here, dressed in her culture.
So how do you like Smallville, Mikhail? Is Smallville High a right place for you?
Yes, I think there's plenty of opportunity for me to be able to grow.
Pretty girls, too?
Sports? Yeah. I like it.
Trent Ford, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, he's beautiful. Just absolutely, it's amazing. So Lex is like, I reviewed your application, and guess what I was shocked by? You were a pretty dumb kid. You were average as fuck.
I just want to know, Mikhail, because you're a big dummy. Why would my father ever allow something that goes to Nobel Prize winners to some Eastern European trash?
It's like, I'd really like to know what you're actually doing here. And Lex got up to get a lime and make a drink for himself. And Mikhail...
Cut.
Yeah, he's just like listening to Lex and he's like, cut.
And all of a sudden, Lex has now cut his finger and he is bleeding.
He's like, ah!
And now Lex is still covering that wound when Mikhail decides to say...
What you cannot see is the potential that the report card will not reveal.
And Lex really hears this little shithead. And he actually, I feel like he's like, there's something up with this kid. Like, for sure.
Okay.
Something is going on.
Okay. You've said earlier in the season that you believe that Lex is bored. I think Lex is bored now.
Yeah.
His dad is in jail.
Telling
whatever
you, bro.
Your dad is trying at this point, dude, who cares? Just send the kid back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to do anything else. But no, instead, we can only assume the reason why he's wanting him to stay is, I wonder why my dad wanted this stupid kid.
Daddy sent you here? Daddy sent you here? Wow, why are you here? I don't get it. You're dumb as shit.
Going to the next scene, let's go to Smallville High.
Yeah, Lex is bored, dude.
He's completely bored, and it's insane.
Yeah, we go to the Torch specifically, and we have Mikhail jumping in, knocking, and Chloe's working.
Oh, hey, working on the next newest issue of The Torch. You know, I've been here for a decade. Not many people come here, especially after hours.
Well, I guess I just walked into the Lions.
Chloe says that, oh, I didn't know bookies make house calls. And yeah, this guy here just says, like Taylor said, yeah, I guess I walked into the lion's mouth. Chloe's like, what are you talking about? Well, you know, you're a first timer and you show up at the end of the season.
I have
asked
some
questions.
And it's not a coincidence that you're Smallville's most notorious whistleblower of a decade at the Torch. Because
Notorious.
I was able to see everything about you because your work is everywhere. I think your name is Chloe Sullivan and you are the best reporter out there.
With the accent, wow. You really did it. I hate you so much for that. Hopefully you come up with more.
Chloe even comes up to him and says, notorious, huh?
I like that.
So what do you bet that this is going to be on the newspaper for the next issue about my betting scheme?
So in a way, you kind of were right on both.
I was right on both.
You were right on both.
Which is
Story
insane.
and the bet. So she's like front page if, you know, you play your cards right.
Because Mikhail is actually interested in being able to, you could say, help her with the story right now as long as she is not going to use his name.
Yeah.
And that's all he's really concerned with at this moment. And now all of a sudden, Chloe says, why would you even help me?
Well, looks like you found my weakness.
Pretty girls with infectious smiles.
Because she believes, oh, greed? Sick son of a bitch.
You want more money?
Pretty girls.
And now Chloe then looks at him, rolls her eyes. You know, I'm still writing the article, bitch.
I'm a little wet, but I'm still going to write the article.
Well, if you don't even want to make another bet, it's fine. I could give you the inside scoop if you wanted.
Yeah.
And Chloe now is a little intrigued because Ms. Velma can never keep it in her pants. Once
she's like, ooh, what?
Underground,
Say it again.
something people don't know, I'm on it.
Promise not to mention my name, and I'll let you shadow me. You could be my personal assistant through the seedier parts of Smallville that you're not used to seeing.
And Chloe's like, if I cut you a break, I expect a full inside scoop.
Of course, and the first stop is the winner's circle.
Huh.
So look how much money, though, he is busting out for her winnings.
It's 80.
Yeah. Was Smallville the underdog?
Yeah, I think it was, 8-1 at this point? She bet 10?
Should he would have
Is that
been...
how that works?
I thought, see, this is why I told Jordan to come on the show so he can explain it to
that would
us.
have been nice.
I told him.
We need our bookie.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, textbooks don't go too crazy. Oh, but now we get your both right here. Chloe mentions like, no, but yeah, probably something like that. But it's mainly for my dad, you know. He's been on unemployment for a while since this unfortunate event. When did that happen?
Remember?
Taylor, when did that happen?
Remember when we said Gabe should stop applying within Luthor Corp?
I don't think he stopped, or I think he did stop but didn't apply anywhere else.
I
and
don't
gave up.
think he applied anywhere else, and I think he's still waiting on a response because HR just said, we'll get back to you, Gabe. Get out of the office. I think that is what happened because obviously Gabe may be the most worthless dad right now in the whole show, and I can't believe I'm saying this.
I don't know, dude. He was really going strong for a while. But, yeah, I was truly amazed. This man, Gabe Sullivan, really went out here and said, unemployment rocks. I have a daughter, so what?
Who needs anything? Food? Cable? Electricity? Screw it! And
Yeah.
obviously they would have kicked him out of his house, right? Because it was in a Luthor neighborhood.
Dude.
Only for employees.
Yeah, because I think they had to move.
Yeah.
Apartment?
So I would assume apartment. What does Gabe do all day?
I don't know.
Does he just get weed from Clark?
Drugs.
Is
He's
that
doing
all
drugs
that's going
now.
on?
Remember all those poop jokes? Yeah, he's a stoner.
I do remember those. Dad, you're so embarrassing. Where's Earl?
Yeah, where's Earl? God, we need him back. Jitter some things up over here.
I'm Chloe. So, how would you like to make an entire semester worth of cash tonight? Before you wake up tomorrow morning.
Chloe then looks at him.
I have to go to a Sharks game in Metropolis tonight. Maybe you
Which
could
we
go.
confirmed is 6 hours away.
It's 8-1 odds.
Chloe then looks at him.
Come on. To get an inside a gambler's mind, you have to be ready to raise the stakes, eh?
Dude, 6 hours. What time's this game?
She says, count me in, so it must be a 4 a.m. game.
Dude, how's he going to get there? Is he leaving now? It's the middle of the day.
She then hands him the money. He then takes that money where he is going to make that 8-1 bet on the Sharks. And Chloe is smiling because she thinks he knows something that others don't. Let's get now to the Kent farm.
Woo, I love this scene, man.
You sure you do?
Yeah, it's so funny.
Because everyone keeps telling me that he's going to get better.
Yeah, so we go to the Kent house, right? And John's like, he's like pouring himself some coffee or something, and he's looking back at Clark, and he kind of makes like this sigh, like kind of face, and he goes back and he's like, there's more to life than championships, Clark. Okay, there's more to life than that.
He is wearing his state championship ring while he is telling Clark this right now.
And I love Clark's response. He's like, yeah, it's easy to say when you have one already.
And that is where John looks at him. You know what? Just don't even worry about it. You're kicked off the team, loser.
Yeah, you're a cheater from the get-go, man. Look, you hurt that kid. Look, he's lying in a hospital bed now, Clark. You're dumb. You can't play sports. I'm better.
You know what, Dad? You're weak, okay? How do you think it feels where every time somebody tries to come after you and tackle you, you have to force yourself down? You will never know what that's like, weak man.
Yeah. You have the pride to do that, huh? Do you have the pride to do that? But guess what? Clark actually makes a good point here. Dad, when have you ever seen me trip?
And I want everybody to remember this moment right now of Clark telling John this. Because we're going to actually see a fucking wonderful parent in this episode. And oh my God, am I so in love with her? Spoiler. Because this jackass decides to just not even think about what Clark just mentioned and instead just wants to continuously laugh in his face that he's kicked off the team.
Yeah. Dude, he's happy. Records were about to be broken.
You know what? You can't just get rattled and then hurt people. I'm sorry that you're not going to be on the football field anymore, but you're a danger to everybody and you know it. Now, I could be the bad guy if you want, and I'll tell Coach Quigley that you're done. But if you want, you can do it.
Dude.
Wow.
Oh, dude. Wow. We're really going to these lengths. Like,
yeah. This is a little
no, you're not going to set foot on the field, son. Guess what? I'll be the bad guy.
No, I'm going to call him now. I'm going to call him right now. Is that okay, Clark? Yeah, you're done. Cool. I'm calling him now.
Dude, we need to go back to Clark's point. This man don't trip, dog. He ain't never tripping.
Let's just remember that.
And then Clark even says, no, I'll call him, Dad. Guess what? Because you said my responsibility, right? Huh? Yeah, okay, see you later.
And he just turns around. John is then left there with that blank stare that he does as if he won the conversation. He's trying not to smile. Now, on the next scene, we are at the Talon where, hey, Joseph, do you remember the Love Potionettes?
Love them. They should have been in jail the past, 2 episodes.
Yeah, instead they're allowed to be around the drinking table again.
Yeah, and they're in their uniforms. Why are we in their uniforms?
Why are they not in their uniforms?
Jason, the coach, is in casual clothes.
Yeah, but that's because he's Jason. He can do whatever he wants. He's great.
All right. Hey, Mark Warshaw, I don't know what you're doing with the cheerleaders, but get it together.
We know what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, 2004.
They should be in jail anyways.
Ooh, Mark for suggesting the Pete.
I hate Pete. Do not mention him.
At the Talon, though, we have a party poppin'. Martha is that manager. She is working the room.
We're going hard at the Talon.
Yes, football team, cheerleaders, coaches, everybody is there because Clark, he walks in. He's trying to break up the mood. Walks over to Jason, says, I need to talk to you. Jason looks at him. All right, what's going on? And all of a sudden, another teammate comes up. Kent,
Oh, you saved it, man. Come on over here, dude. What a play. You put us in the championship, bro. And then he's still making eye contact with Jason, getting pulled away, and they're looking sad and concerned.
Well, Jason's like, I'm going to still be asking you what you wanted to talk about later on.
Yeah, he's looking at him, taking a sip. He's like, oh, you had something serious, but we'll wait.
Yeah, but it's not a look of disappointment.
It isn't.
It is a look of curiosity.
He's seeing how Clark's going to handle the situation. He's like, all right, let's see what you do. Okay.
Now that you're a big man on campus and everybody's relying on you.
Yeah.
Where obviously the football players, like we talked about relying, say, we can finally get a scholarship, man. Only one more game to go. Championship. Oh, thank you. I can't wait to get a ring. Yeah, I'm already talking about it. Already got people.
Scouts.
They're going to be looking at us for the game. This is great, Clark, and it's all because of you.
CK.
Oh, yeah. Now let's meet somebody we've never met before. Coach Quigley. Coach.
Yeah, they're like, all right, I'll shut the fuck up now. Topeka West may have 3 titles under its belt, but I know we have a real shot at the championship. And this year is all we got. Impenetrable defense, an aggressive offense.
An impenetrable defense.
And a golden arm.
Didn't know how to say that.
Yeah. And a golden arm. And everyone just goes
cheers.
crazy.
Yes.
Everyone looking at Clark. And even Martha's looking like, I ain't gonna say nothing, but like, hey, yo, my son, he a cheater.
No, Martha is great because, again, somebody is a parent in this episode, so she is just once again looking
But she is in the back, but I love it what she's thinking. It's like, oh, yeah, yo, no, I don't know. He's not really the big man. He's not really the big man.
I don't know. And Clark is a little bit weirded out. Jason is looking at him like, these guys are relying on you. What are you going to do?
Is Jason the only character ever catch that Clark has facial expressions like this all the time? Really worried looks. And he's like, okay, yeah, he's concerned. I think he's about to come clean about something.
That's what a best friend does. He pays attention to his BFF so that if he's upset, he wants to be able to lift him up. He doesn't want to just let things go. He wants to talk about them.
Yeah.
Because that's what friends are for. That's what friends are for!
Wow. I'm scared. So, it's like John really did that, huh?
Yeah. John, no matter, I would say, what he does for the rest of the episode, I don't care. He has just shown that he is not supportive, nor with last season of him saying, and we trust you in the decisions you make.
He's such a liar.
It's all a bunch of nonsense from this guy. I would never know if he would ever trust me. He's going to probably say soon, Clark, I trust you now. I don't believe you anymore. You said it 3 times.
I don't even think I'd believe anything he says.
Yeah.
Like, about anything.
Are you Jarrell right now?
Yeah, are you John?
You hearing a
Are
buzz?
you Hiram?
You hearing a buzz right now?
Your grandpa? You're Hiram? How about Mikhail? Was he at the game yet, or was he still driving? Because 6 hours, Taylor, he was at school.
So
Latest he would have to have left is like 2.
This is where I'm a little confused because I don't think Mikhail was at the game.
He said he was going to go to Metropolis.
Yeah, but what's weird is with Chloe and how she explains it here in this next scene. Because just to let you know, my girl is buying things.
Why she look like Ashley Tisdale from High School Musical?
Because she was the first Ashley Tisdale.
This is like London Tipton. This is London Tipton right now that just walked in.
Okay, that's fair, but who cares? Because I love hoop earrings, so we're going to stick with this.
We're wearing like the puff jacket, crazy shades and whatnot, big bags of... She lives in the Torch now? Is she bringing her clothes there? Is this midday shopping from high school?
She has to hide the money from Gabe. He'll take it and buy drugs. So that's why
she's like, Chloe, did you get anything new?
Whoa, what are you wearing? Where'd you get the money?
Hey, that's new, huh? Where'd you get that? You got some extra change?
Chloe lives a horrible life right now.
How is she midday shopping right now?
Because she is the editor of The Torch. Did you not hear what Mikhail said? He said, I've seen your work, and it's absolutely fucking incredible. How dare you?
I could make your semester's tuition in one night.
What's great, though, is that Mikhail does even ask, say, all right, so you were able to, I'm sorry.
Don't go spending all that money all at once.
Don't worry, I only took 10% off the top. The rest of it is going to the college tuition, but I have to hide it above my ceiling like 21. Otherwise, the Gabe critter comes out and he'll take it from you.
The Gabe monster.
Chloe.
Money. All right.
You won't leave me like your mother, right?
I'm getting disturbed now.
Oh, sorry. Now you want to get to I guess, should we have a disclaimer on the show saying we do not believe in what happens next and that I am extremely uncomfortable?
Oh, yeah, this scene goes dark, like what we were just about to do. We have...
Before you get to the dark scene, I'm sorry I had to pause it because I forgot one scene. Chloe said, I loved winning. I haven't had this much fun since 5th grade with Ryan Rosenblatt?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What was she doing in 5th grade?
I mean, all of those, she's saying like painted beer bellies. Like she was comparing the environment. So the energy.
Sounded like Kelso and Jackie playing doctor underneath the blanket.
So playing a game of Risk.
All I know is
nervous.
So she said that has been her best time since the shopping spree.
Getting fingered in 5th grade.
Definitely. All right, so going back to the scene, though, she then says, oh, my God, I've never had so much fun. And now Mikhail is looking at her.
Well, now, see, why would you want to go and spoil the fun by writing this article? You don't need to do this.
Yeah, now he's talking about fully getting the article idea out of here. Like, he doesn't want her to write it at all now.
Not at all. And he is trying to convince her still not to, where she says, why would I stop? It's just getting juicier and juicier.
But you're already winning, so what does it need?
Oh, you're cute. But no, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. I love Chloe so much.
But you're only starting to scratch the surface, and I can't give you so much dirt.
He then gets up to her as close as he can, as if he's about to make out with her, and she finally realizes, you're trying to cancel the whole article, aren't you?
I don't think you understand, Chloe. I always get what I want.
Oh, looks apparently, because your charm just ran out, and now
Chloe is uncomfortable. Let's state this.
Yeah, we're like face, like right here, about to kiss.
And she even just said your charm just ran out. Tries to walk away, and he's stop.
Yeah, he makes her stop, and then she literally stops and is looking at him.
She is frozen.
She is concerned. She has worried eyes because she knows what's going on, but she's like, what is going on?
Kiss me.
And then, whoa. And then she's like coming in slow. And then literally, this gets really disturbing.
You mean Hannah Baker, 13 Reasons Why in the hot tub disturbing?
Whoa. Just because I went dark in that one episode.
What are you talking about?
You're going to bring something even more dark, dude?
That's the face. You can cut that out if you want.
No. I'm just not going to comment because I don't want to say you're wrong or you're right. So, just no comment. But yeah, we're on the scales.
All right, make me the villain. Thanks.
We're on the scales, though, of something very similar to that. But yeah, no, she's like getting kissed on the neck, and she's just like, she's having to take it because she's under the spell, under the jinx. And he's like, this is me asking nicely.
Drop the article.
Drop the article.
And now he walks out, and then Chloe is left there still stunned.
Yeah.
And I think he says move.
Mm-hmm.
So now she is able to move freely, but obviously it's now really scary because he is Purple Man, and this is Jessica Jones at this point.
That was violation, bro.
That was something that made me uncomfortable, which is why I gave the Hannah Baker comparison, because for me personally...
The uncomfortability level.
No, see, I didn't care about Hannah. I care about Chloe. And since Chloe was going through this... Is that bad?
You're just, wow. You're the villain. You want to be the villain right now.
No,
I think the accent is like morphing with your soul. And you are now Mikhail.
No, see, all I'm trying to say...
I don't care about Hannah Baker and her scene.
But Chloe's scene, that's where it actually affected me.
Yeah, sure. I hear you, buddy, loud and clear. Clark is throwing footballs through the tire swing.
We're
in the
inside
barn.
of the Clark barn.
Yeah, in the barn, and he is like acing the hole, bro. He keeps acing it, but then he opens up the lead case, and what happened to his rock?
What happened to the rock?
He opened up the lead case, and we're getting like a sliver of kryptonite.
Where did the slither come from?
Did he just say, I don't need this much rock. I'm just gonna chip it down?
Okay, and I'm not gonna lie. When it happened with this scene, I thought this was the dumbest thing on planet Earth because
Where are the veins, Taylor?
well, it's not even that, Joseph. Kryptonite's not gonna make you normal. It makes you weak, where you're like sick. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like he's trying. He's trying to do like Goku did with his tail.
I was gonna say, is he trying to train? Is he trying to get even better?
Yeah, he's trying to be Goku right now.
Maybe I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he is finally training. And he's just using the football thing as a training mechanism.
Yeah.
The problem is what he then explains to Martha disproves this theory.
It also shows us he does suck at sports because he holds the kryptonite in his hand and he completely misses the football in the swing.
But it's because he has the shakes with kryptonite, so it's not even he's normal.
No, it makes him normal, bro. That's his thought process.
Yeah, he's
Like, look at him. He's so disappointed too when he misses. He's like, damn it, I do suck.
But you know what? We have a parent that walks in, and it's Miss Martha Kent.
I've never seen you miss before.
Clark then is completely stonewalled, you could say. Oh no, I just got done smoking. Hopefully she doesn't smell.
I've also never seen you shrink away from taking responsibility.
Listen, I just thought that maybe if I was like everybody else, then I wouldn't get beaten by Dad in the belt every single night. And Martha then walks over, notices Clark is shaking. Open your fucking hand. And Clark then opens, revealing the kryptonite shard, and Martha is about to whoop his ass.
Yeah, she's like, what are you doing? You know how that makes you sick? It hurts you.
Yeah, it doesn't make you normal.
Yeah, I always get better after I get hurt by kryptonite.
So what if I'm sick? Guys get injured all the time and they still play through it. It's the same exact thing, Mom.
And if Dad knows I don't have my abilities, I can't hurt anyone, you know?
Maybe he'll love me.
Yeah, maybe he'll love me if I'm normal and weak like him.
So I just want to let everybody know, John's talking to Clark has now forced him to put kryptonite in his hand because Clark feels so low about himself thanks to John.
He is his 13th reason.
They have a hot tub scene too.
Just know, everyone, we were really big fans of the first season, if you couldn't tell. Because we keep talking about it. Very memorable stuff.
Very memorable.
Yeah, they even have stuff they cut out. You can't even watch nowadays.
No, we're never going to watch that.
You are not taking meteor rocks on that field. I know this is hard, but you're going to make yourself sick. Well, I can't quit either.
Clark, the answer is no.
Yeah, listen to what I said. You asked your father if we'd ever seen you trip before? Never.
Somebody's finally answering that question.
Yeah, never. And not without kryptonite, actually.
And it's great.
So, because that brings up probably our concern. He had little kryptonite rocks and he'd be falling everywhere.
And what's wonderful about this, instead of saying, you hurt people and you're just going to kill somebody out in the field, Martha says, you know what? I got caught up in my own excitement for you because you were just like everybody else. So you look so normal out there. You felt normal. And I love seeing that. It was like a mother finally seeing her kid comfortable with himself and making friends and being normal, even though he's not.
Yeah.
Martha is coming from such a wonderful place. And she now has to disappoint by saying, but even me being caught up with the moment, I still forgot that no matter what, there could always be something that happens. But I do trust you. You never have mishaps. So I'm going to tell you, you didn't trip on your own. Something definitely did it. And
You need to find out what happened.
Before the next game.
So she's like, find out what happened, then go play.
If you can fix this, then you can play. And you take care of this. This is your responsibility. John, you want me to call the coach?
Yeah, you're done, son. Back to the chores.
What on earth?
Martha's the MVP, bro.
Thank God for her, because otherwise Clark probably would be in a horrible situation. He probably would be moving to Wichita with Pete.
Imagine Pete being in this episode and having John on that end being mad. What if Clark trucked Pete and broke his collarbone?
What if John and Pete were both holding up signs that said cheater in the stands?
Pete, aren't you supposed to be on the field?
He's just water boy. Come on. Martha's the best parent alive.
I know, full circle.
And now Clark decides to finally go, all right, I got to see what happened to me. He is now sitting in the torch office, got a lot of balls right now, fella.
Because if we remember correctly, last week was transference, and when Lionel was Clark in Clark's body, he did some fucked up shit to Chloe. And
she said, I'm done.
And Chloe at the end did talk to regular Clark and said, yeah, I'm done with you right now. So the fact he's in the torch watching his game highlights of him tripping.
But we do also have to say, because going back to last episode with Transference and her, she called him Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jackal.
Oh, and she mentioned it
yeah,
again.
that's where she mentions, because I love it when she walks in, Clark, oh, all right, I guess I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, Clark immediately tries to get out as soon as Chloe walks in. It's like, no, it's okay, Clark, you can stay.
Well, I thought you didn't want to see me after, everything that happened. I'm just hoping I get the Dr. Jackal side of you. God, do I love this woman. A decade at the torch. She is everything.
She's
and
terrible.
Clark does not deserve her.
Maybe.
And what I love is that she still throws the shots, even though I've kind of forgiven you because I'm over it all. Chloe is now being the bigger person. What I love is that she says, what are you then doing? What's going on? Clark is then saying, I just trying to figure out exactly what happened out there. It's like my body just had a mind of its own. And Chloe then finishes his sentence.
Oh.
He then looks at her and she says, it's Mikhail. Mxyzptlk is his name, Clark.
And I like this little reference too. He's our new resident puppet master.
And that would be
that
great.
is an actual villain as well, and it kind of plays a little bit because in a sense he could be that puppet master if he wanted to.
It's sad.
But Puppet Master is an actual villain too.
Well, the sad part about Puppet Masters, I can't remember who the DC one is, but Marvel one I can remember because it's one of my favorite comic book covers. It's Fantastic Four #8, and he is the Puppet Master playing with the Fantastic Four as if they are puppets. Silver Age issue.
Is it Marvel that I'm thinking of?
I don't know. No, DC has to have a character that's named Puppet Master.
Yeah.
They have to. No, I think you're right. I just don't know who it is compared to the Marvel one, because Marvel one, again, one of my favorite comic book covers.
Oh, hell yeah. And so Chloe's going into it like how she knows. This is kind of embarrassing, but...
Yeah, hold on.
How do you like this reaction?
What the fuck?
Okay, no, stop. We'll get to it. Hold on. So she does say, it's like, well, yeah, it's going to be kind of embarrassing, but he made me kiss him.
He made you? What was that?
Even Chloe's reaction, dude. She's like, what the fuck?
I just told you what happened to me and that I was then stuck in one place and I understood how you didn't have control over your own body. We were talking about the same thing and then now you're throwing shots.
Yeah, because why does that matter if it's a lie, Like made you? Like why does that matter to Chloe?
Why would you even care?
Yeah.
And
we don't like her, right?
I was going to say, are we talking about the other episode with the Love Potionettes where she was sitting on top of you and that's what you're hinting at? But also she has the right to say that after last episode with Transference. So I don't know what leg you're trying to stand off in my office, but you better watch your mouth.
And it's a little toxic masculinity, bro.
Yeah, no.
He's like, oh, made you? Like, oh, I don't believe you because she just got taken advantage of, bro. Dude. Like, what? Taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And he's not believing
Never. God. The fact that, though, she actually really did take advantage of women in real life is pretty nuts. She
plays the victim well.
Sick.
Yeah, so she tells Clark it was like someone was controlling me for real, like, honestly. And he's the biggest bookie in the school. And he has the power to control the odds as Clark finishes that. And so what Chloe does actually searches up his name his last name in her database. 0 results come up. And then it's like, well, and then Clark looks like, well, what's that? And it says, did you mean, and it shows his name backwards. And so she clicks yes. And fun fact about this now is that in the comics, it was known that Superman would be able to get rid of the imp Mxyzptlk by saying his name backwards, and that would make him vanish. So it's a cool little nod here that they included that.
I do agree, except it takes such a weird turn now with what it really...
Because can you help me understand that? Because it starts as a weird urban myth type of article or story that comes up about
a town
with
where...
this particular family.
And this family was able to then tell people what to do.
Alter their luck?
And it's, they call it altering luck, but it doesn't seem like that's what... I mean... Telling somebody to stop, kiss me, is not altering luck. That's essentially just telling somebody what to do.
Yeah, is it like, oh, you're saying... Because doesn't she... They do get down to the weakness, I guess. They find out the weakness of Mikhail.
Well, and that's what they go on about is, in a way right here as well, because with this urban myth, they're saying that the family fled a century ago to get away from the stigma of this belief that they are bad. And then now Chloe says, okay, but that doesn't really help, Clark. Come on, what else is there? Walks over, then starts reading. Oh, here, according to the legend, what stopped them was a plague of locusts.
Yeah. And it's like, you're thinking, how is locust going to stop them? What they do is, well, we need to figure out, how he even got here in the first place.
Think about it, Chloe. Who is the one that brought him here?
And who could?
Whenever Clark said that, though, I put it in the notes. I was like, I don't know what you're trying to do right now. I don't know what you're going to find out. Because just to let you know, Joseph, he's not going to tell you anything. I don't know what more proof you need, but he had the page and he didn't tell you and you knew there was something, so now you just think Lex is dumb and just always telling you the truth right now. I'm confused by Clark in doing this, and it seems like he just wanted Chloe to do all the work. All right, you got Locust. I'll see you later.
Oh, I can stay? Cool. Guess what? I need you to do this for me. Yeah, so Mxyzptlk, the name, switched their name, right? They flipped it
yes,
so they could not be found.
Says it backwards.
Yeah.
And
how do you say it backwards?
I don't know how you say it backwards.
Let me see, because it has it tells. It'd be clitizism. Clitizism.
Clitizism, huh?
Clitizism. Clit.
It's just clit, huh?
Just clit. Nickname.
For some reason, I don't think that's what the imp was implied to be.
We need to get to the Lex mansion, where Lex is now back to playing pool. So obviously he's about to try to make a deal with Clark, you would imagine, because Clark is now here about to ask some questions about Mikhail. And this is where Lex starts to cross some boundaries.
Yeah, we're doing weird things. So, gambling on the Crows game, that seems like...
Lex, he's gambling! Kick him out!
Yeah.
Such a tattletale.
Is there something else about this kid you want to tell me, Clark? Lex, you sponsored him. I just thought maybe you want to do something about it. He's breaking the rules.
Yeah, of course. I'll look into it. Whatever. But you know what? I'm surprised that you even came to me first and didn't go to your best friend forever, Coach Teague.
Yeah, what was that? Was that jealousy?
There's jealousy
There
here.
was jealousy.
There's jealousy.
So I'm surprised you didn't go to the principal. First off, we hate the principal. No one's going to the principal. Or Coach Teague. What happened to him, huh? Is he dead?
I know you've been staying late after practice.
I know where you've been, Clark, when you're not here.
Does he help you with this history homework too?
Does he give you money? How much?
I have a bigger fireplace.
I guarantee I make more than him.
You want to play pool?
I have a really cool piece of paper you can look at.
You know what's great, though?
It's from Russia.
You want to see it again?
It's a really cool piece of paper.
Also, I kept the box.
It says something stupid on
It
it.
says fragile with a Y. But I do also want to get to, I was hoping Lex was coming at a jealousy point from Jason with Clark. Instead, Lex starts taking more of a turn right now. And with Lex, he says, I figured things would be more complicated right now. What are you talking about? Come on, you can't be the one that doesn't notice laudness fondness for quarterbacks. I figured that she would be maybe...
Even retired ones.
And now Clark is looking down, says, yeah, to be honest, it's been hard to see her with someone else. Lex then looks at him, says, don't worry. Paris can have a magical effect on people, but the enchantment will soon weigh off.
Is that the theme of this season, magic and destiny?
What I love is that Lex, trying to be a big dickhead, Clark avoids that and says, I've actually never seen her happier before. I didn't think she's going to be breaking it off anytime soon. And now let's hold on to that, of Clark telling Lex that.
Yeah. You sound awfully concerned about someone who you let them just walk out of their life.
Clark, I guess the whole...
If you love them...
Set them free.
Set them free.
It's about what you're willing to do, Clark. And on that field, you'll do whatever it takes to win when it comes to a football game. I guess you're not willing to do the same with Lana. Maybe she just doesn't think you mean it.
Yeah. Maybe you're a big fat phony.
Maybe you don't really love her as much as you think.
Yeah, definitely not as much as me.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I told you, Lex is out of his mind, dude. We're starting to weirdly see a turn with him.
And why?
And we even get more of it later, too.
But why? And that's what I want to be able to pause here and ask that question.
Because he's bored. It's for some reason, having Lionel free and him doing all the shitty things, it made it to where Lex then had to not be as shitty.
Nope.
He was fighting so hard to be good when Lionel was around.
I disagree with you with this.
Really?
I go back to your other theory.
What? He's bored?
He's starting to get obsessed because he hasn't seen her. And so now it's driving him crazy that he's not able to be around her.
I just don't always want to bring it up, Taylor, but I'm glad you did, dude.
So hey, don't worry. We're just going to hold on. I don't want to call anything out right now because there's no way it could get worse this episode.
There's no way.
Spoiler, it does.
Clark on steroids. It's a little hard to picture.
We're on the next scene now with Jason and Lana where they are in their loft. And I'm assuming Jason now is telling Lana about
Getting
the conversation.
blue balls once again.
Yes. And... Now Lana telling him, though, I can't see Clark taking steroids. Jason saying, I've seen it in a lot of guys. They'll do whatever it takes to win. No, not Clark. Well, I'm actually supposed to test him. And Coach Quigley put that into my hands for me to do, which is why I yelled at him at the hospital, because I would never want to yell at my best friend. And his name is Clark Kent. So I told Coach Quigley I gave him that drug test, and it came back negative. So
now it's on Jason.
Exactly.
But he did it still, benefit of the doubt. He's still giving it to Clark, and he's just taking it on because he believes he's innocent.
No, because I believe in Clark. Jason shouting that out to Lana so she knows that he is his BFF.
Yeah, because she's like, why would you do that? And he's like, and because he knows about us, so. He does add that too. I didn't want to stir the waters. If he wanted to get back at me, and obviously he could do it easily.
Clark wouldn't make it personal. Why not? I mean, if someone tried to take you away from me, I would do whatever it takes.
Oh.
Nobody took me away from Clark. I left on my own. Even though if he was at the airport, I definitely would have stayed because he left me a white rose and then he disappeared.
No, Clark said, yeah, go. You can go now.
He didn't even drive me.
He literally told her, yeah, have a good life in Paris. Bye.
He could have chose her and her then telling Jason, I left on my own.
Yeah, it wasn't forced or anything.
I'm independent.
It was, yeah. Ask Nell. But yeah, Jason loves Clark more than Lana.
Yeah, thank God somebody
But actually,
does.
no, he's a little obsessed with Lana too.
But you know what, Jason? Clark is a big part of the reason why I left to Paris. Well, thanks, Lana. That's not something you want your girlfriend to say about her ex. I'm just going to walk away. I couldn't be happier with you. And Clark can be unpredictable, but he knows that you need this job to stay in college. You guys have been bonding so much.
I know, yeah.
I know it's hard because you are always so close to him, but are you sure you really know him? And Lana looks at him. She can't answer. Jason then walks away, and Lana is left there. I don't know what he just said.
Clark is the blueprint for Lana's taste in men. It's absolutely insane. Because when she really thinks about it, since he's so secretive, and like she only knows really like just really one side, and he's just this little dude that was crushing over her every day.
Okay, so hold on. So let's get into this. Adam was too secretive, so it got her, but then he was too violent.
Yeah.
So kicking her while asleep, that's where it crosses lines.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, he's too sweet, no secrets. He tells her everything.
Yeah.
And he's not violent. So this is just somebody brand spanking new, but she still has one half. She just doesn't have both halves.
Yeah.
Clark, she gets both halves of the coin.
That's right. Good shit, dude. I love how we just piggyback that.
Yes, we always have to dissect the episode, even if it's the worst character of the season so far.
I know. If anything, we're helping Lana's case here.
Yeah, except somebody's trying to outdo her in this episode. Let's go back to the Lex mansion.
Yeah, okay. So we go to Lex talking to Mikhail again. It's like, oh, you know, I don't like how I just found out, but importing bookies tends to be a big, poor reflection on
These
a
are
company.
just fun and games. Do not worry.
The INS isn't exactly renowned to this whole situation, guy.
But a man like you can pull some strings, yes?
If I wanted to, all right? Lex is like, dude, I hate you.
But whatever talents my father saw in you and whatever he thought you would be able to bring to my company, I've already made the arrangements. You'll be halfway over the Atlantic by tomorrow morning.
You don't really want to do that. You want to know why your dad brought me here. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you.
You know what? Not that badly.
Gives him his ticket or whatever it is, his papers.
What if I make you a wager?
What am I going to do with any type of bet from you right now?
He's like, look at him. He's like, because I know gambles better than anybody.
You're a caviar kind. See, when you hold everything in your hand, the only thing that give you the thrill is putting your chips on the one thing that can slip through your fingers.
What are you saying?
You know what he's saying? He's bored. I know you're bored, Lex. I know you want to just have some fun.
He's like just talking so dumb, but yeah, Lex is like literally grinning, and he's like, no, like I would never like that.
And what would be that one thing, Mikhail, that you're referring to?
Well, in that case, it's me. I'm the prize.
How much do you believe in this quarterback friend of yours, Clark Kent?
Oh, the championship game?
Yes.
What's the wager?
All right, if the Crows lose, you arrange citizenship for me and $1 million to start anew again.
And what if the Crows win?
I love Lex doing that. He grabs him by the shoulder and he's like, okay, cool. What if I win? Because his winning was like, okay, that sounds good. What about me, though?
Well, he's like, I don't think you can cover that type of bet.
Yeah.
I can't. But the reason your father brought me here is far more valuable than just money to you.
And he sees it in his eyes. Lex is like, okay, we're talking.
Oh, starts licking his lips. Go in the next scene. Let's go to the Clark
bored.
barn.
He's so bored.
There's a lot of things going on with Lex right now.
That man's like twiddling his thumbs, dude.
Yeah.
Literally what Lionel said. He's just pushing pencils.
And also, Clark hasn't been over to hang out. He is lonely as shit right now.
And Lana and him don't have a deal with the Talon.
Yeah. Who is he talking to these days?
Him and Chloe only talk to each other for things.
Like a
Like,
white tea guy in his Chinese outfit? Is that all he has?
yeah, his name's probably
Steve.
Yeah, Steve or something. Hey, Steve.
Chu?
Steve Chow. Sir, I grew up here in Kansas. Just act the part, man. Give me my tea.
All right, but inside of the Clark barn, Clark then
Oh my
starts to
God.
act like he is studying.
Let's get the biggest unannounced arrival ever in the barn right now.
You're a real-life American football superhero, Clark Kent.
Mikhail, who has not interacted with Clark at all, just all of a sudden shows up in his barn, and Clark's just like, well, you interrupted my reading. What are you doing here, man? Like, it's normal.
Dude, Clark just got done smoking right now. He was like,
He's like,
I'm going to do some school work. But what he was really doing is about to write Mr. Clark Joseph Lang in his notebook another 100 times. Because when Mikhail shows up, what are you even doing here, man?
I came here to say thank you for ratting me out to Lex, because you're a tattletale.
It wasn't hard to figure out. I knew Chloe would squeal, just not to him.
She's too proud, having a decade at the torch and how great she is and everything. I heard they call her Velma. I heard that is her real name because no matter what, she solves the cases. No matter what, any mystery that comes up, it goes on the wall and she says solved.
I hate you. Shut up. He says, you seem to be the common denominator, Clark, okay?
So you forget, games are my business. So if you don't know the players, you cannot guess the outcome.
Clark then walks over.
I don't know what the fuck you just said, buddy, but I need you to get out of my barn or repeat what you just
Well,
said.
he's like, didn't you come from the village of the damned?
I'm not a curse, Clark. I am just lucky because I'm good with calculation.
Now we're talking Asian? Is it Asian?
Shout out, Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And on Saturday, the championship game, I'm going to be very lucky.
If you think I'm going to throw the game, you're out of your mind.
If
Then there's an if. There's always an odds, and I always beat the odds.
Clark then tries to step forward,
choke.
and now Clark is completely bent over, choking.
He's literally choking.
He is really in pain right now, as if he cannot breathe. And Mikhail then bends down with him as Clark is on his knees in pain.
Listen, and based on the playing field, the profit margin is going to take an unfortunate turn. That is why you're not going to tell anyone else about me, and you're going to be on that field. And unless you want to see more of your buddies in the hospital, I think you're going to do exactly what I say.
Walks away from Clark. Clark's still in pain. He turns around and says,
breathe.
And then Clark breathes. It's a pretty intense scene.
It's great because it shows Clark could get his ass whooped here.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, well, we could speed over to that guy and then maybe knock him out, though.
And what's also wonderful about it with Mxyzptlk is the fact that no kryptonite is needed in order to do this. We have once again a superpowered being that's now being brought into the show, and it's an old villain, which is what I've been wanting for the past 3 seasons, but instead I get Emily.
Yeah.
So it's finally now getting into the good stuff that Smallville should have been doing. What's funny is Flash did the reverse and did all their villains immediately in all the episodes, the CW show. And then they didn't know where to go. And that's where Smallville did such just dumb stuff there for the longest time.
Yeah.
They finally said, we somehow have an audience. Now let's give them what they want.
Waited so long.
But it's paid off if you're going to give me these type of episodes.
That's true.
Because it's a character that, sure, maybe like the Locust thing could be a little bit silly, but I like it.
Yeah.
It's at least entertaining.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And we've even talked beforehand. After me going through each of these episodes, and you said this was like kind of the big 3 that we have right now, and The Flash, Transference, and now Jinx, Flash is 3rd on that list. And I used to love it.
It's only really good because of obviously Flash.
Yes.
But as far as like story, what's going on,
Transference, definitely numero uno, where Jinx I'd put above the Flash.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised of me saying this, but also story-wise and accent-wise, I'm going with this.
hell yeah. No, I agree.
Going back to the torch.
We're at the torch. Chloe's walking out with a folder. Clark gets her. Hey, Chloe.
Big game, by the way, is going on right now.
Jason said warm up in 15 minutes.
Walks by. Now Clark is asking, Chloe, what'd you find? And now Chloe was able to look into the locust, where apparently what she was able to find is that there is no stopping locusts whatsoever. Unless they are able to emit an energy where that is why whenever they fly in swarms, they're not hitting each other. So they are just essentially, I don't know, like a dolphin, like whatever frequency.
Yeah, it's some type of frequency, like radio wave
Yeah.
form that they have and they sync with, so they're not hitting each other.
The newest Jurassic Park explained it. Just go watch it. It's horrible.
And so now they're coming up with the idea of, to the point where, oh, we need to jam the frequency. Because then at that point, it made the locusts start hitting each other. They couldn't fly around without hitting each other. So they're thinking this is what's going to stop Mikhail, because he is emitting a frequency like that.
Well,
Because if you hear it, basically, I guess it works.
The town said that, or the urban legend that they looked up for Mxyzptlk is going about locusts, saying that they were the cause for them being able to run away. I don't know how locusts are the enemy, though, but yet they're saying they're essentially the same thing, which is why it's going back to the frequency of being able to stop them. I'm not sure how we're getting this connection. I'm really not.
I don't know. It's like I'm running into Gears of War. For all I know, they're going to talk about those locusts.
Yeah, I wish there was just something else here, because I don't know.
Oh, you wanted something else? We got an Old Spice commercial.
Oh, yeah, hold on. This is actually a part of the episode and not...
Topeka Valley Huskies and the Smallville Crows. We're in
the
locker room.
only one that I've ever known.
We get Green Day, bro. Boulevard of Broken Dreams.
I hate this song. I hate this song so much.
What?
Yeah, it's horrible.
Dude, stop.
I know, it's what
Anyways,
I do.
we're getting Old Spice product placement. Clark is just in the locker room. We're legit getting
Putting
like
on pads, the light is shining through the window, and now we have Clark tying his shoes, and he just sees
and then he puts his pads on, squats
fans
over,
going in the background.
puts his number 8 jersey because that means air and Kryptonian.
Yeah, and he is by himself.
He's gonna be flying out there.
And he now
Fly with the crows.
and he puts the ink under his eyes and he
No, he
says, "Call me Becky." You
No.
remember Little Giants? Call me Becky.
Call me Becky. Oh, guess who's waiting outside the locker room?
Hey, Icebox!
I wish John said that.
And then this is now John waiting outside the locker room. Clark then turns around. Hey, Clark, what the fuck are you doing? Listen, Dad, I know how to do this. I have a responsibility out there. You know what? I bet you against 250-pound guys banging against each other on the field. You know what, Clark? That's one thing. But getting hit by you is like getting run over by a train, fat ass.
It's a big difference, son. It's like, I think Chloe and I found a way to stop him. Well, look, son, I'm sorry. That's not good enough. You're going to have to give me more than you just think.
Dad, I know you don't agree, but sometimes I have to take responsibility, having faith in yourself. And it also means be willingness to accept your consequences, Clark.
This was one of my favorite moments because of what John says after Clark is done with this.
Did you understand it? Because I didn't understand it. And please tell me you thought he meant what I thought he meant.
Every handshake, every hug, every time I'm out on that field, I make a conscious decision where those guys hit me so they don't get hurt. And I fall for that. Now, no matter how hard you try, you can't understand that. I have to deal with that and being normal and making sure to fall for them. So, that's why it's my decision, not yours, Dad.
John then looks at Clark.
He's like, man, that was good.
You know what, Clark?
Man.
You're sounding an awful like Jarrell right now.
That's how I took it. I did not mean it that way. I meant as John.
That's how I took it.
I just meant John that being the dick he is, like, oh yeah, you're just sounding a lot more like me, which he's not.
There was two ways I took
Double entendre then.
Yeah, because I really thought he was trying to make an insult, being like, you're just sounding like your father, Jarrell.
Man, you're really sounding like that bitch made dad of yours.
But instead, it was, you're really starting to sound like me. And by the way, I'm going to say, okay, John sucks.
No, he's cool.
John,
No, everyone loves him as his dad.
yeah, I'm trying to understand where then I get backlash. Take it easy, Taylor. You're going too hard. What does John deserve? What are we talking about? I just told you how a parent acts. Do I need to rewind it to show Martha again? That's what a parent does. The parent here either wants a compliment about himself or wants to compare him to his real father and not take blame for what he's turned into.
I like the real father, Jarrell. That's a good one.
That's what I thought he meant.
Another Old Spice product placement.
I wish they would have just done Mentos.
Fresh Maker. And John, of course, still looking worried in the stands, but clapping.
Yeah, he was clapping for the running back.
He's
Favorite player.
He's clapping for the other team, just in general.
But we see the Smallville Crows running onto the field. Now we are back underneath the bleachers where we are seeing Miss Chloe Sullivan being able to know exactly what office is going to be open. And it looks like an old radio office where she is going to be able to hook up her frequency machine across the speakers in order for this to work. By the way, I do have to pause it real quick because we forgot one of my funniest moments. When Chloe is explaining about the locus and the frequencies, Clark then goes, like a dog whistle. And Chloe then says, yeah, whatever. Back to what I was saying, idiot.
Oh, like a dog whistle. Scooby-Dooby-Dooby-Doo.
So the point is that it's the whistle that nobody else is able to hear except for that animal. So that is what they are planning. I just love Chloe. Yeah. Way to go, Clark.
Good job. I'm
Back
glad.
to what I was saying.
Good comparison, yes. Good job, son. Good job. There.
She's so great. But she sees everything she needs, hooks up the PA system, and she is ready to go. So that means they are expecting Mikhail to be at this game where she is going to be able to make this frequency sound. I would just think that Clark would hear it too.
I feel like everyone would hear it. Are you kidding me?
No, it's specifically for Locust. So what they're saying is that he is a Locust.
That's what I understand. He's the locust, but I thought he was supposed to be representing the black cat that burned down the village.
I think he's the Locust King. I think that's what they made him. We can't make him an imp. That's just too mean. So let's make him a Locust.
Nah, Mikhail the imp. I like it.
I do too. It's just we didn't get an imp. We got a Locust.
So they said the locust came into the village, and then that's when the village burned down because their luck ran out.
And the family ran away because the Locust drove them away. So they hate locusts. So they hate that frequency.
Interesting.
Dog whistle.
Dog whistle. So they hate dog whistles. They can't do it. And so Mikhail's in the stands, and he's hearing the frequency go off, and he is hurting. He's really hurt. He looks like Clark when he hears the ringing in his head.
And now we have the championship game being played where the other team wearing the Green Bay Packers uniforms of the green and the yellow. We have Clark under center saying hut. Mikhail says thrip. Clark does not trip because the frequency instead throws a perfect bullet pass at least 20 yards. We got ourselves a first down, Crows. Mikhail is now confused. What's going on?
Oh my god, my luck is not working.
And now we say, all right, let's go, guys, from Jason. He is still supporting. Mikhail is still in pain, covering his ears. Clark once again under center. Iowa 80, hut. He then hands it off. Syke hands it off to the running back, and now number 46, fumble. He does not fumble, and instead he's about to score. But now we have the montage where it's the football game of each team scoring back and forth. This must be an entertaining championship game. Mikhail is still in the stands. He is worried because he looks a little sick right now. But now we have the running back once again just bursting through the defense. The Crows are getting first down after first down. He now scores again. Jonathan has never been so excited for a touchdown to be scored. Because when Clark scores one, it's bad. But when the running back does, it's good.
Did you notice that the frequency thing, it has the label MMPP?
No. Is that micro mini?
Imp?
I don't know if that's the same.
It's the same.
Chloe,
It's just missing the eye, bro.
they are showing Chloe now in her little facility of the radio station.
Mikhail catches on. He's also bleeding from his ears.
bleeding from his
No
ears.
one's just like, what's wrong with this guy?
Yeah, hey, go get that looked at.
And he actually manages to follow where it's coming from.
And he goes into that old radio station. He unplugs it. Chloe then punches him in the face, says, "That's for that kiss, bitch."
Kind of sucks when you have to play fair, huh?
You know, in my country, you always have to expect the unexpected, and sometimes you have to get a little more violent. Look at my knife.
We have to adapt to survive.
Chloe now is, I'm assuming, going to be chained up here. We are back to the football game where the Crows just got another first down. The game is on the line here. And now, all of a sudden, before Clark can go back into the game, in order for the game-winning play, Mikhail is allowed right behind him on the sidelines during a championship game. He would have never been allowed to get this close. What is he doing there?
It was very weird because, like...
Nobody even thinks he exists. Is he a ghost?
Because at least at one of my games, or I'm sure you went to Churchill games too, like...
Joseph,
could you ever do that? Just walk on there?
What if Mikhail is not real, and the only ones that have been able to see him is Chloe and Clark?
And Lex.
Yeah. And
You want to dive really deep, huh?
And it's because he's using his magic in order to convert, because he really is the imp. And that's why only certain people that he wants to see him are able to. And that...
I mean, it's true. He's only seen 30 people.
Yeah. And nobody seems to notice him on the field. Nobody noticed him in the stands, except Chloe at the very beginning. But once again...
Yeah, no one else is talking
Nobody
about him.
else has even looked at the guy.
Dude, you're onto something here.
I don't think
he's a fifth dimension being,
Yeah.
dude.
That would then dive more into making sense.
All right, if Mark Warshaw did this, dude, you did a good job.
If not, you're welcome.
Yeah, we put it together and made the episode better. Oh, and he shows Clark like, look,
You throw that game.
He is talking to the quarterback right now. In the middle of the game.
yeah, and everyone's like, where's Clark doing? Who's that?
Nobody even says who's that.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Clark, listen, you're going to go back on that field, and you're going to do exactly what I say. And you're going to go and lose this game. Otherwise, your friend is going to get hurt, and she could come up sliced up in a million pieces.
Love it.
And so don't let me down, Clark.
Or Chloe's dead.
Walks away. Clark is then left standing there. All of a sudden, Kit, let's go. Nobody has seen Mikhail. And now Clark is going back onto the field. Jason then tells him, all right, man, we got a Montana pitch.
This is
for
it.
the title. Let's do this, BFF. Clark then says, okay.
He slapped his ass as he got out there.
Gets back into the game. Jason is nervous because it's 21-17, and it's the guests that are winning right now. And now the Crows are about to snap the football. Clark cannot win this game, so what he is going to do is look exactly at the spot that Chloe is chained up at, because he knew where she was going to be at this old radio thing, and he's able to find her immediately and see what's going on.
Yeah, and he sees that she's about to get stabbed or something, and Clark then runs the play. Boom, hut. Everyone's going. He's got his receiver open. He just chucked it, 60 yards again?
Yes.
That's a Hail Mary, baby. And we have 3 seconds down the line. A tackler is going in to Clark and about to tackle him. And now we get a really fast moment from Clark.
So here's the thing. Usually, I would say, too fast, Clark. This is really ridiculous now. Come on. But instead, I'm going to say...
He's been training?
Yep. And
because The Rock, and then we had Flash show him that he can probably try to go faster.
Not only that, but it was also when John said, you want to take my truck, and he's now saying, no, I want to run.
So he's been running more.
He's been running a lot more, so I would actually say that he has developed his speed a little bit. Especially because you know damn well, I want to keep up with Bart.
Oh, yeah.
Once he saw that extra gear, now that would make him want to see if he could do that extra gear. Dude. I would believe this.
Because that's what I was thinking too. Whenever I was watching, I was like, I could buy he's training.
Yes.
He's at least trying to run more. And
because he just was with Bart, I'm going to completely buy this right now.
Dude.
So with this speed that Clark has, he then runs out of the field because he saw where Chloe was with Mikhail. For some reason, he decides to take off his helmet. I don't know why. But with him now running underneath the bleachers, going into the radio office, he breaks the handcuff chain. He shoves Mikhail really hard. I kind of love it. And Mikhail goes flying.
I love it. Yeah, he does go in there. He's all gentle with everything, and he sees Mikhail. He's like...
He shoves him so hard.
And so, yeah, he speeds back after saving the day, back to his position, acting as if he was just about to get hit as normal. And boom, the catch. I love that he threw it first before before he ran.
And defender hits him. He falls down to the ground. Everybody is cheering because the receiver caught the game-winning touchdown. The Crows have won. Chloe is now being shown inside of this office.
She's stunned. She's like, what the hell just happened?
And she knows that the only two people that would have known this was me and Clark. About what was happening and the fact that Mikhail was threatening me, and all of a sudden now he just destroyed bleachers.
Yeah.
And he may be dead because he was also bleeding from his ears. So there's a lot of pain
Head
coming
trauma.
from Mikhail.
Lots of head trauma.
And now with him being that way, Chloe having the chains cut off, Clark then throwing the game-winning touchdown, him figuring out why he doesn't trip or why he did trip, Chloe is realizing, why is Clark Kent so perfect?
Yeah.
And this isn't of a crush. This is more of a, he's got to have something.
Dude, no, I think you're good on assuming that she's dead. I feel like this is like a big hint, is it not? Like,
well, again, if they were the only two people, how could she not think this? Nobody else would have known where she was and what she was doing.
yeah. But she could then go into the thing because, I mean, the whole locust thing was absurd and bonkers. So maybe it's just like, oh, maybe the frequency did something, you know?
You know what's crazy is that if Lex was Chloe in this situation and that all happened, he would have looked at his hands and said, I have power.
My high white blood cells is not the only thing that I have. What if this is not my final form?
This is why. What is he, Frieza? Hello, monkeys.
Oh, we go to the Kent house, and Clark walks in. He's all excited and happy. Obviously, he was just done at the game. Why? How late is it right now? Because John is like, oh, I guess championship quarterbacks don't have a curfew, huh?
It's 9 p.m. Even if it's 5 minutes late, I don't give a damn. You know what? You're going to do extra chores tomorrow, champion.
You said responsibility, right? You just said that.
Dad, sorry I'm late. Martha then looks at John. John, cut the crap.
Yeah, like, let it, come on.
John then looks at Clark. Clark, your mother and I know that Mikhail was arrested because she told me. I wouldn't have known.
Now, when I was out on that same field.
And I was winning my own championship. By the way, I think you were 1 yard short. I want to say that I still hold the records in the end, and you, Clark, were not able to break them. So what I want to do now is to say, I'm happy you were able to take on this responsibility, and whether or not you get sacked and you almost kill a kid, we're proud of you. Martha then says, for everything.
Hell yeah.
Smiles. John then says, all right, come on in. Good night.
Yeah, Martha's like, hey, come on, let's go to sleep. And bang.
And now Chloe decides to walk in. Clark is a little surprised. He probably thinks this is another booty call. He's probably hoping she's still on that potion because she would be wearing his winning jersey right now. You don't get that again, Clark. You
I
blew
hear you're
it.
quite the hero tonight, Kent.
Well, we wouldn't have won the game if not you were able to figure out everything that was going on with the King of Locusts.
Yeah.
Mxyzptlk.
Mxyzptlk.
Yeah, well, you could thank Uncle Sam for that. Oh, my Uncle Sam. It's amazing to access a 3-star general has when it comes to his cool toys. That's where she was able to get the frequency machine in case there were haters out there. Clark then says, yeah, because of that jamming device, Mikhail is not able to control anybody anymore. He's permanently destroyed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering,
So he's in the hospital, and I'm assuming he doesn't have the power anymore. Somehow the frequency burst his eardrums so that he can't do it, and somehow that makes him not have
Maybe it can
power.
really be taken away? I don't know, it's a dumb power.
No, it's a great power if used right. No. Not as a bookie at high school, at an alternative one at the best.
Yeah, Purple Man had it right.
Yes. Jessica!
Yeah, so Chloe's also kind of feeding into the thing of like, I don't know what happened. It's like I had some, something weird happened when he got stopped.
And he's like, yeah, I mean, I guess people all have their weaknesses, right, Chloe? Except for you.
Of course.
Clark, you don't have any weaknesses. Clark then looks at her, smiles. You're almost there. Get it. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, he's like, you fishing? huh?"
Chloe then looks at him. Are you going to tell me?
She's like,
She knows.
She knows
She is
something.
figuring out, and finally we're going to have this reveal. At least we better, because I am loving this relationship. What they try to do at the beginning of the season of making her be pathetic again, disgusting. Finally, we are back at the decade of the torch of being who we need to be. Love me some Chloe.
no.
Let's go to now the big piece
Luther
of shit.
Oh no, Lex is like, you'll find this a lot more comfortable than the county lockup, Mikhail.
What
Because
are you-
Lex has Mikhail at Luther Corp right now.
Where are you taking me? I'm going to take you to a special place where I keep all my toys. He puts his
They're
thumb...
gonna have a lot of company.
Puts his thumb on the elevator pad. Now they are going up. And now, Lex, I'm sorry we couldn't make an agreement. And now Mikhail says, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to win the victory. And also, I didn't tell you anything about your father in the end, even though that's all you wanted and I lost the bet.
Yeah, and he does say that Lex
I've
does
lost
say
my trip.
anything lost, I'm sure can be found again.
What
As
I've learned is anything that is lost can always be found.
Yeah, because of what he says about his
Mikhail
power
says I
being gone.
lost it, yes.
And so, yeah, so Lex, of course, says, I bet on Clark. I bet on Clark Kent for this whole thing that happened.
I didn't bet on you because I knew you were done with those C+ grades.
And we get to the little conspiracy now with Lex because we are now realizing, yeah, he's bored. He has a level 33.1.
Should have been 0.3.
And what are we getting? A level 3 type of scene. He's taking Mikhail to some bright white room level, whatever it is, and we don't get to see what it is, but Mikhail is stunned. He's looking at it.
It looks like, okay, so...
Does he have just lab rats in there?
No, what I thought he had, and it's going to sound weird, but I thought he had like a spinning circle with all of these metahumans attached to it.
Dude, that's what I'm meaning, like lab rats.
Yeah, and he just had these people in their old little chambers that they were then just going in a circle, and that's why we saw the light going across their faces, and Mikhail looking scared as shit, thinking, what is this? And now he realizes Lex is the collector.
Yeah. That was, dude, I'd be creeped out. Because Lex is like I said, you're not alone. So clearly, these are physical-looking metahumans.
You think Mikhail looks happy there?
He looks concerned.
Yeah, he looks like this is not what I expected.
Yeah, and so there's definitely ones in there that are physically looking crazy.
And
Because you wouldn't just assume, of course, like, oh, off top, like, oh, yeah, they look like people.
And what's crazy is you're like, man, Lex is horrible. There's no way somebody can outdo him.
It's
And
the
now-
best girl ever.
and
Our
now-
favorite scene.
We get to the next part.
We're going back to Smallville High. And Clark's like, hey, Lana, where's Jason? I've been looking for him. I actually left him 3 messages.
Yeah, I know you did.
Well, I thought he'd want to know that Metropolis University offered me a scholarship.
Oh my God, you got a lot of fucking balls. That's great, Clark.
Yeah. And Clark's like, well, one of the scouts called me, said he wanted to thank him. I wanted to thank him for trusting me on that.
Well, it's too bad you couldn't return the favor, douchebag. Clark is left there like, what? What's going on? Jason was fired this morning, all because of you.
She didn't actually say that, but it comes across that way.
Yeah.
Jason was fired this morning. And Clark's just like, what? And then where do we go?
Hold on, before we go.
Lana sucks, dude. We know.
No, it's not what I was going to say.
She sucks really bad.
I'm telling Lana Lex did it. I don't know what we're doing here and standing here shocked. Lex obviously did this. Clark knows this. I'm not helping Lex with this. Lana, this was Lex. He knows too. I owe the guy nothing at this point because now I'm going to get the shit end of the stick. Obviously, she's going to blame me thinking this is some jealousy crap.
But he's still going to confront Lex, too. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
Yeah, but still, I would tell Lana that. I will confront him too, but she can as well. I'm not taking the blame for this. Are you kidding me?
I feel that.
Yeah, no, I'm not dealing with that.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And obviously, Lana, in her benefit of the doubt, even though she sucks, last episode, transference. She probably thinks this is another thing that he did. The problem I have is that she doesn't word it as great as Chloe does with the Mr. Hyde and Dr. Jackal. Instead, Lana just throws hissy fits, even though Clark obviously did not know what she was talking about, nor would he leave 3 messages. What is he, rubbing it in?
Yeah, he's like, Jason!
Hey!
I'm going to meet you, bro. I'll see you there.
Yeah, because you were fired. We'll have plenty of time to hang out.
You won't, though.
You could be my personal coach, though. BFF forever.
Yeah, we'll be dorm mates.
Yeah, because Jason's not a bad person.
I'll live in your house with the fireplace.
Let's get to the real villain.
Yeah, we're at the mansion again, and Lex is poking the fire, and Clark is here. And he shows up, and he's like, it's good to know the local football star still has time for some friends.
I wouldn't put it like that, bitch.
Oh, Lex is like, wild guess. You're not talking about the football star part. He's already being a little douche.
Maybe I wasn't clear, Lex, but what you and I are talking about stays between us. I see.
So today I'm taking the role of the despicable, untrustworthy friend, and as our usual hero with no flaws, jumping to conclusions.
Has the fatal flaw of jumping to conclusions.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
No, Lex, we were the only ones that knew about Lana and Jason. You got Jason fired. You know, a teacher-student liaison. You know,
it's hard to come back from.
It's taboo. It doesn't work. It's illegal. Also, we have to say this about Rainy Day. She corrected us because Lana is 18. Because remember, her birthday is at the beginning of the year. So she is not 17. She is 18.
Good job, Rainy Day.
All right, so I
Good
have to
job.
shout out.
You're still wrong about the meteor freak theory, though.
So when it comes to now Lex trying to say this to Clark about how it's frowned upon, oh, so now we're going to take the moral high ground on something like this, huh? Listen, Clark, I hate to see the Lana infatuation earn her a scarlet letter known as the town whore. Well, she would have you to thank for that, wouldn't she? Because now everybody is talking about it. Why would you go and do this, Lex? You didn't do this to protect her. You're right, Clark.
You know, Lana isn't meant to be with Jason. What? And Clark's like, okay. Maybe a year ago you would have gotten away with using that as an excuse of what you did, but you didn't do this for me. And why did you do it, Lex?
Lex then looks around his shoulder and he begins once again to smile.
And he looks at Clark deep and he just says nothing and smirks. And we cut credits. He's out of his mind.
I'm not talking to Lex ever again.
He's out of his mind.
Friendship's over.
He's out of his mind.
Friendship is no longer
I
here.
laughed so hard when I saw that. I was like, what is he doing? It's only he's bored.
Friendship is gone now. I would never talk to Lex whatsoever because obviously if I'm Clark, I'm now thinking like, why would you even do this? That's why my other reasoning for Clark telling Lana. So if he doesn't believe that he has a crush on Lana, then the only explanation would be, you were trying to screw up my life?
Yeah.
So you were trying to give me a headache?
Mm-hmm.
You were trying to make things complicated for me. So why are you doing this? We're not friends now. Because remember, you had the room of me. You gave me the right side of the trash.
Yeah, we're already fucking up. We just rekindled this.
We just did this. Well, this was only a few weeks ago.
Yeah, and also, Lana is a meteor freak because Lex is getting obsessed.
Yes. And that's the only thing behind it. Because it really is... Lex could be bored, but this is also as if he's lonely.
She's been away too long. Remember, she was around a lot, so he got her around to be around. But since she's gone, he's craving it. It's the obsession, the meteor freak tingle.
Well, it's knowing that she's always so close when he goes to the football games, when he is in the school donating
buying
uniforms.
Their uniforms.
He is always that close to her. It's almost like the new Netflix obsession show, which is pretty much just porn. It's essentially just watching her at every corner and also just drooling because he wants her. And here's the thing. Why?
It's cool. She's legal now.
I don't even care if she's legal. Why? She doesn't have red hair, so this goes against what he likes. So this can...
Do you remember Helen?
This can only she was like, what was it, brownish red?
No, she had really dark brown hair.
I don't remember that. Irrelevant. She jumped off the plane.
And Victoria.
Victoria had red hair.
No, she didn't.
We're going to call it red.
No, it was not red.
So going back to my point, Lana is not his type.
Dude, he sleeps with probably whoever's hot.
But he doesn't go this far unless there is something that is convincing him or lusting after him or driving him towards, as if it's an ability
Yeah.
that Lana seems to have, where you could call it like perfection, you can call it attraction, but her pheromones are so overpowering to any man.
It's like heroin.
And once you have her and you're
You have a
around,
taste.
it's like, and just going back to even them working together, it's because he was so around her, like you said, that then made essentially him become addicted. Where
He's like, now I'm putting you plots where, yeah, now's your time to get her back, Clark. Make her come around.
and when he heard Clark say at the pool table, you know, I think she's really serious about this guy. I don't think she's going to be coming around anymore. We're like, cool. Jason's the best. You should meet him. And instead, Lex took that as, you're not going to do it? All right.
I'll do it.
I got it.
Yeah. Cool. Good job, Lex.
Can't
You're
wait.
really fucking things up right now.
Can't wait to have her. Have her all.
You notice he put 2 fruit bowls in his place this time. Lemons and limes. And then he had like apples, I think.
Yeah. I don't.
That's more important.
I don't know if that's more important versus if I'm Clark, never talking to you again.
Yeah, friendship's done. We should have been done a while ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Jason.
You know, fun fact about the beginning team. Remember how you were making fun of me for the Blues? Well, get this, dude. They were in Bloodhaven. That's a Bloodhaven team.
They're the Bloodhaven Blues, BBs.
The BBs, baby.
I love me some Bloodhaven. First appearance, Nightwing #1. Ooh, I got that issue the other day. It's so great. It's like he's in like the sewer, he's in the water, and he's got his chucks
Stinky?
in his hands.
Smelly?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So great though, because it's the blue and the black on it. Ooh la la.
That has to be a thing. Like, if superheroes were real, they would have to smell like shit.
No.
Are you kidding me?
Obviously, we saw the Old Spice commercial here. They always put
Well,
on their
Batman's
deodorant.
definitely smelling. That man be going everywhere. In the slums, in the sewers, I'm sure. He'd be fighting crocodiles.
Oh man, could you imagine how bad Catwoman smells too with all those cats? I mean, they're just gross.
She's like licking herself too. She's so lost in the cat thing. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Their room would be disgusting.
It'd be bad. There'd be a certain smell that would never go away from your mind after that day. But
God. But that's why he has the Bat family still stay. Hey Jason, come clean this up.
he needs a lot of workers in there.
Dick, get your ass in here.
Man.
Damien, let's go. I'm not touching that shit.
Damien's like shitting on the floor. There's no toilet paper.
Hey, he grew up training, okay? It's not his
This
fault.
is how we did it in training.
Tortured.
Dad, father,
He was like, Mikhail.
Mxyzptlk.
I've already forgotten.
Mxyzptlk. Yeah, we're done with the episode
We're
now.
done.
But yeah, no, Jinx is done. That's a wrap this week. We have, like I said, this is the end of the trifecta. We had the Holy Trinity kind of in this little season right now. When I was looking at the descriptions of the next ones, I kind of remember them, kind of don't. We may be having some bad ones. I have a feeling you might like Spell. We'll see.
Oh, I'm gonna love it. I can
think
already
you're gonna
tell.
love
And by the way,
Spell.
I have never seen that episode. I'm gonna be all about it. I can already tell.
Yeah, episode 8 is Spell, and it's going to kind of go into more of the magic territory, I think, a little
Yeah.
bit. So be
Maybe
tuned in
that
for
is
that.
this season's theme.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think
Yeah.
it's like, oh, well, I thought it was Destiny at first, because that's how it was really starting off strong with. But now it's, yeah, it seems like it's magic.
It's either
The mystical.
It's either about magic or football.
Aren't they the same? Come on, man. We're American.
I'm magic on the field.
Golden arm! But
Go Cows!
stupid idiot. But Spell is next, and we get Lois back.
Oh God, here we go.
But episode 8 is Spell, but episode 7 is done. Again, follow us on everything. And again, Q&A.
5 stars. Do not give us anything less than 5 stars.
Yeah.
All I want is the 5. Give me the 5. 5 me. 5 me good.
5 I'm good for real. But that is a wrap. Yeah, follow us on everything. This is the Somebody Save Me podcast. 2 nerdy idiots. We'll be back next week. Until then, get educated. Read your material. We got some Chloe Chronicles we need to get back into soon, I think.
No, it's not until season 6.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, well. But we'll be there for season 6.
Because this guy got Chloe Chronicles again.
Oh.
I don't think he got another episode because they read that his idea was Pete.
Yeah, we'll get...
You're back on the Chronicles.
After that intern, he saved you, so...
He's going to do another episode, not you.
But until next week, au revoir.